Incoming message.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that is literally going to upend everything you thought you knew about global security. We're looking at the third batch of declassified Pentagon UAP files that just dropped on June 12th. And look, I'll tell you right now, these documents completely reframe the entire conversation around unidentified anomalous phenomena. We're not just talking about blurry videos or fun philosophical questions anymore. What we are looking at here is a zero-sum geopolitical arms race. So, let's dive right into the stark contrast, because it's pretty wild. For years, the public focus has really been on the science and the philosophy, right? Are they real? Where are they from? But the Pentagon's focus, the stuff actually keeping defense officials awake at night, it's entirely different. It is all about war, and it's all about reverse engineering. The apocalyptic stakes hidden in these new files reveal a strategic picture that's incredibly urgent for us to understand.
To properly understand the absolute gravity of these files, we're going to structure this explainer exactly like an intelligence briefing for policymakers. So we'll cover 1. The bottom-line threat assessment, 2. Unprecedented military capabilities, 3. Foreign surveillance operations, and 4. The transparency imperative.
All right, starting with part 1, the bottom-line threat assessment. Now, intelligence experts use very specific, very careful language, and here is their absolute bombshell assessment. According to reviewer Jordan Flowers, who analyzed this third batch of files in detail, the United States has reason to believe that Russia and China haven't just, observed these objects from a distance, they actually possess the physical hardware. They've retrieved downed UAPs, and they are actively attempting to reverse engineer them, basically taking them apart to figure out exactly how they tick.
The executive director of the UAP Disclosure Foundation really hit the nail on the head here. To quote him directly, "This is a global phenomenon, and it's really a race to see who can reverse engineer this first, and it has extreme national security implications that we really need to get our hands around." This absolutely validates the premise that the UFO story has officially morphed into a Cold War-style race, and the stakes, they're literally unlike anything in the history of human conflict.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, unprecedented military capabilities. So why is everyone in the defense community in such a panic about who gets to this tech first? Well, it all boils down to the immense physical challenge of reverse engineering itself. We're talking about decoding and replicating technology that operates on physical principles completely absent from any aerospace engineering textbook we have today. According to pilots, radar operators, and these declassified documents, these craft just flat out defy known physics. They can accelerate from being dead stationary to hypersonic speeds without any visible propulsion system. They pull right-angle turns at velocities that would instantly shred any known human aircraft into pieces. And they can seamlessly transition from the bottom of the ocean right up into space. And this brings us to the military application of these physics, which would completely upend global security. Think about it. If adversaries reverse engineer this hypersonic propulsion, stuff that doesn't even require conventional thrust, every single existing missile defense system we have becomes obsolete overnight. If they unlock perfect stealth, which is the ability to defeat radar at will while still remaining optically visible, then every air force, aircraft carrier, and early warning network is suddenly strategically blind. And maybe the biggest game changer, if they master fuel-free energy generation, the basic logistics infrastructure that limits literally every military operation in history, supply lines, refueling, range limits, that all simply disappears. You suddenly have infinite logistical range. So you really have to understand, this is not your normal space race. We aren't just talking about building a slightly faster jet here. The first nation to unlock even one of these principles doesn't just gain a tactical advantage, they gain absolute, permanent military dominance over every other nation on Earth, all at once. It's essentially a technological singularity in warfare.
Let's look at Section 3, Foreign Surveillance Operations.
This intelligence threat isn't just happening in far-off foreign labs. It's an active threat happening right now on U.S. soil. You might remember during his Capitol Hill press conference, UAP whistleblower David Grush sounded a massive alarm about this. He explicitly stated that foreign surveillance of U.S. programs is a known, active, ongoing operation. And these newly declassified files back that up. They state the U.S. is fully aware that Russia and China are actively monitoring what the U.S. knows, what hardware we've recovered, and exactly what we're studying.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, these adversaries are tracking private defense contractors. We're talking industry giants like Lockheed, Raytheon, and Boeing, who are allegedly running these programs entirely outside of direct congressional oversight. Grush detailed how these efforts are quietly funded through hidden slush funds hidden deep in the classified budget. Now, Here is the absolute nightmare scenario. If China's intelligence apparatus has already penetrated the perimeter of these highly classified operations, then the billions of dollars the US has spent in secret research might literally be funding progress that China is watching, copying, and utilizing in real time.
Which obviously brings us to a very chilling question. Recent 2025 Chinese military modernization reports describe the development of hypersonic vehicles with flight profiles that are just completely inconsistent with conventional propulsion. The UAP research community has actually been pointing this out for years. So, are these vehicles just the product of really good conventional Chinese aerospace engineering, or are they something else entirely? Now, the Pentagon files might not give us a flat-out answer to that, but they officially established that this is a very real and very dangerous question to be asking.
And finally, Section 4, the Transparency Imperative.
All of these immense geopolitical threats directly feed into tomorrow's disclosure forum on Capitol Hill. At this point, transparency isn't just some political buzzword, it's a sheer necessity. The geopolitical panel is going to focus heavily on adversary capabilities, and honestly, it might be the most operationally significant discussion of the entire event. Notably, Senator Mike Rounds is confirmed to attend. That's a huge deal because he sits on both the Senate Armed Services and Intelligence Committees, meaning he has the classified access to see the actual intelligence picture and the real threat assessment. His public participation is a massive signal that the national security dimension of this issue has hit a boiling point. Basically, congressional oversight can't just sit back and remain silent on the failure of this current secrecy paradigm.
Because the crucial takeaway here is this. The deep secrecy that was originally designed to protect this technology from our adversaries, it failed. China and Russia already know. Therefore, continued classification is really only hiding this critical information from the American public and from the American Congress. Public transparency, on the flip side, finally acknowledges the reality that our adversaries are already actively running this race. And acknowledging that is exactly what we need to do to accelerate a unified national defensive response. At this stage in the game, revealing the secrets is literally the best national security argument we have.
I want to leave you dwelling on this one very provocative question, because it is the exact same apocalyptic stake that is currently keeping senior defense officials awake at night. If China successfully reverse engineers UAP propulsion before the United States does, what does that mean for the global balance of power? Well, it means a permanent, irreversible shift in global dominance. The technological singularity of warfare is standing right at our doorstep.
Come to me, chickens! Cock-a-doodle-doo!